So I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you've got a jet ski, lend me a few minutes of your time. You can go to Riva or any of these other aftermarket companies and you can buy your aftermarket intake and free flow exhaust and your crankcase breather delete and your ribbon delete and whatnot. And you can spend hundreds of dollars on those kinds of parts. Or if you want, and you've got a little bit of ingenuity, you got a little bit of DIY in you, with some simple basic tools, you can take things apart and you can get measurements on things, get diameters on tubing or piping and stuff, and you can find all of this stuff online for a fraction of the cost. For instance, the Riva intake for this ski, this is the 1.8 liter Yamaha supercharged. It's like a $300 kit. This is a $20 piece of aluminum tubing and a $60 Jetworks spark arrestor or flame arrestor, Coast Guard approved. And then the filter wears is actually for a K&N. It's the K258 for the 4700 K&N filters. And they're the same exact dimensions as this Jetworks Universal 4-inch. Fits perfect. This was like 27 bucks. Ribbon delete, you can find these online for $30. I got this one on Amazon for $30. Some companies sell them for more. Or if you want to be even cheaper, you can use a piece of PVC and you can put the taper in it that you need. It doesn't take much, and you can replace this ribbon and get rid of all that restriction with a piece of PVC for cents. Crankcase breather, instead of having it going into your intake elbow and basically injecting a fine mist of oil on top of your pistons that's going to burn and cake, you can get these. You can find them online with all the sizes you need. Get the inside diameter of your crankcase vent hose and cut it down wherever you want this filter to be at, and zip tie it onto the side of the engine. It even has a little mounting ear right here. So just all of these parts right here, I'm still into all of this for less than what the intake alone would have cost me. And then we're going to take a step over here to the ski, ignore the shop and the mess, and we're going to take a look at the exhaust. So you want to do free flow exhaust. You want to get rid of the restriction in this system. Look at this. See how far that sticks down in there? That is basically, if you put it on the floor, that is basically to the bottom of that plastic. That is extremely restrictive for your exhaust. So if you want to get rid of all this plastic, I don't recommend getting rid of this. I'm actually going to keep it. But you can take the stock elbow and you can trim this piece off, or you can leave it if you want. But I'm going to trim mine off, and I'm probably going to have to trim this about an inch or so. And I'm going to reinstall this at a different angle. That will allow me to still use the resonator box right here to help eliminate drone at that 2,000 to 3,000 RPM range. I pulled the outlet side of the exhaust for the through hole off, and I'm just going to clock this one turn towards the inside of the ski to give me a better angle to align all this up. And then all I've got to do is get a 3.5 or a 3.25 inch diameter. You can use one or the other. 90-degree aluminum pipe. You cut the pipe down, or you cut the hose, everything how you need it, and you just fit it all back into the ski. And then look how much room has opened up inside the ski. Now, not that that's necessarily going to do anything for you, but if you wanted to use it for some kind of storage, you could. So I just wanted to, PSA, public service announcement. If you've got a jet ski and you want to do cheap modifications like this, your ski is going to run better, it's going to be more reliable, it's going to burn cleaner, and it's going to be less restrictive. At the end of the day, these few little modifications that I'm doing should net me anywhere between 1 to 3 miles per hour. And I might lose a little bit on the low end, but I should gain on the mid to high end. And it's going to cost me, like I said, all of these parts are going to cost me less than what the Riva intake kit cost alone. So that's it for now. We'll see y'all next time.